welcome to Cooking in the Kitchen with the Spice Gal. Today we are doing paleo pumpkin bars. So I'm going to look down at my recipe here and go through the exact ingredients that you're going to need so you can have everything ready. We are going to need 2 cups of almond flour, which we've got right here, half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of the Spice Gal pumpkin pie spice. This will be out for fall. Okay, 1/4 cup of almond butter. I like to use the almond butter from Natural Grocers that they grind fresh. 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. I get this big thing at Sam's, you guys. It's awesome with how much coconut oil we go through. A 1/4 cup of coconut sugar. So we've got that down here, ready to go. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, okay, 2 tablespoons of almond milk, 1 can of pumpkin puree, or sorry, 1 cup of pumpkin puree. And then, so it has a maple frosting on these pumpkin bars. So for that, you're going to need some grass-fed butter, half a cup of grass-fed butter, or ghee, or coconut oil, 1/3 cup of maple syrup, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 1/4 tablespoons of coconut flour, 2 1/2 tablespoons of coconut milk, and 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar. So the very first thing we're going to do is the base, the bar, and then we'll get into the maple frosting. So we're going to do it in 2 separate parts. But let's get started. Okay, so you're going to need an 8x8 dish, and I've lined it with parchment paper, and then you can grease it. So we're going to combine the almond flour in this bowl right here. The salt, the baking soda and baking powder. So we need half a teaspoon of baking soda. I did not open this one very well. There we go. And then a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And then the pumpkin pie spice, you are going to do 2 teaspoons, and this is a 1/2 teaspoon measurement. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 2 teaspoons of that Spice Gal pumpkin pie spice. All right, where are we at? And then we're just going to mix well and then set this aside. Give that a good stir through. Oh my gosh, it smells like fall with this pumpkin pie spice. Smells so good. Okay, so we've given that a good mix through. We're going to set it aside. The next thing you want to do is you want to get your 1/4 cup of almond butter, and then your 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, I believe. Let me make sure I've made these. I'm just double checking on my coconut oil and the almond. That's what I did last time. And then you're just going to melt that in the microwave. Place in the microwave and heat it on high for 30 seconds. That's what we're going to do. We'll get that heating. Okay. So we've just popped that in the microwave for 30 seconds. When it's done, we're going to stir it through and then continue heating it for probably another 20 to 30 seconds. A good stir through. Okay. Another 25 seconds on that. As you can see, that's really melted really good, and we're just going to mix that up. Okay. Stir it until it's really good and combined. Okay. We're going to add the coconut sugar. So all of this coconut sugar is going to go in there. Stir that through. Okay. We're going to add the maple syrup, just the first part of this maple syrup, which is just 2 tablespoons. Let me double check that. That's what I usually do. Yep, the 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. 1, 2. Okay. almond milk is going to be 2 tablespoons of almond milk. 2 tablespoons of almond milk, stir that through. And then we just have our vanilla that we need to add to it. It's 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. What is my teaspoon measurement? There we go. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. This is a ½ teaspoon measurement, so 4 of those. Put those in there. Stir that in really well. Gosh, this smells delicious. Oh my gosh, I wish you guys could smell. I always say that, but someday somebody's gonna come up with like smell-o-vision. You'll be able to smell everything through your phone. And then the last thing we're gonna do here is add this pumpkin puree to this. So, get all that in there. I realize that's totally in your way. We are cooking all day in the kitchen, doing a bunch of recipes for fall for you guys. So I have stuff everywhere. I mean, I usually do anyway because my life is chaotic. In a great way. I love my chaotic life, but it is chaotic. So we're going to mix that in really well. Now we're going to add this to the dry ingredients. So next we're going to add these wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. I mean, we've mixed this up really well. Which we're going to do slowly as we make sure you get all of that. Those mix in. Mix them in pretty good. Alright, and then what we're going to do is just scrape down the sides like you would if you were making a cake or anything else. This is the base for our pumpkin pie bars. Alright. Okay. Get that good and mixed. Okay, so we've got all that mixed up. Just some coconut oil. Easy. Alright, so the next part of this is we are just going to pour or place all of this like a cake into this 8x8 baking dish. Great Thanksgiving dessert recipe, guys. This is definitely a favorite. Just spread that out well so it's kind of even. So we're going to cook these for 30 to 35 minutes in a preheated 350 degree oven. I forgot to tell you guys that at the start. Preheat your ovens to 350. Yeah, you're going to put that in there. Okay, so while our paleo pumpkin bars are cooking, we're going to do the frosting, which is a maple frosting. What you are going to need for the frosting is ½ cup of grass-fed butter, ghee, or coconut oil softened, which I've got here, which I'm just going to start to cream up. Alright, perfect. Okay, 1/3 cup of maple syrup, which I've got right here in front of me, right there. And I love this brand of maple syrup, the Shady Maple Farms. My kids love it too. Just in case anyone was wondering which one we get it at Natural Grocers. Okay, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, which we've got right here. 1 1/4 tablespoons of coconut flour and 1 tablespoon of coconut sugar, which is in this container right here. And then also 2 1/2 tablespoons of coconut milk. So we're gonna let this coconut oil beat up for about a minute to get it smooth and creamy. Maple syrup, which we're going to do right there. We're going to add in our cinnamon. Then our coconut flour and our coconut sugar. Okay, and then our coconut milk, which is 2 1/2 tablespoons. making a mess. There we go. You're gonna let that beat up for just a minute. I'm gonna let you guys see this actually. Can you see that in there? Yep. A nice caramel color. I would have done this with butter or ghee if I had it, but I'm running low on butter. I'm needing it for another recipe, so I used coconut oil. I haven't done it with coconut oil before, so we're gonna this part will be new. Okay, it's not as creamy as when you use butter, but I'm hoping it still tastes just as good. I guess we'll find out when the kids try it out. Hi. So once you are done beating up this frosting, we're going to stick it in a container. Now, once your pumpkin bar has actually cooled, that's when you're going to want to put this frosting on. Okay, on these pumpkin bars, the last thing we need to do is put this icing on. Okay, earlier I said I was going to put it in the fridge, and then after I put it in the fridge 2 minutes later, I realized it's coconut oil and that's going to harden up very quickly, so I quickly took it out. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are just going to slather this on the top of our pumpkin bars. And then we're going to sit it in the refrigerator for about 15 minutes to set, and then you can cut it up and serve. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to this, and I'm never going to get it flat. There we go. Okay, pop that in the fridge, 15 minutes, and we're done.